Hello, my name is Olivia Grindon and I give permission for this audition video to be shared with central staff and freelance audition panellists where appropriate. The monologue I have chosen to perform is from As You Like It, written by William Shakespeare, and I will be playing the role of Rosalind.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once overret? What through you have no beauty, as by my faith I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed. Must you be, therefore, proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look upon to me? I see no more in you than the ordinary of nature's sales work. Odds my little life, I fear she means to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your cheek of cream, or your bulge eyeballs that can attain my spirits to your worship. And you, faithful shepherd, wherefore do you follow her, puffing like windy southern rain? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she a woman, and 'tis fools such as you that fill the world full of ill-favoured children. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show for her. But, mistress, know yourself, down on your knees, and thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love, for I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell while you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man's mercy, love him, take his offer. Foul is most foul, but being foul is to be a scoffer. So, take her to thee, shepherd. Fare thee well. And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over-erect? What through you have no beauty, as by my faith I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed. Must you be, therefore, proud and pitiless? Why? What means this? Why do you look upon to me? I see no more in you than the ordinary of nature's sales work. Odds my little life, I fear she means to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, or your black silk hair, your cheek of cream, or your bulge eyeballs that can attain my spirits to your worship. And you, faithful shepherd, wherefore do you follow her, puffing like windy southern rain? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she a woman, and 'tis fools such as you that fill the world full of ill-favoured children. And 'tis not her glass, but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show for her. But mistress, know yourself, down on your knees and thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love, for I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell while you can, you are not for all markets. Cry the man's mercy, love him, take his offer. Foul is most foul, to be scowl is to be a scoffer. So, take her to thee, shepherd. Fare thee well. The choice I decided to change between the two is the time periods. I performed the first one as if it were in an Elizabethan period and the second one in a contemporary period. And then I thought what changes that would make. So I knew that in the Elizabethan period, traditionally it would have been a man acting as a woman playing a man. And therefore I needed to show that a distinction between masculine and feminine was needed.
I also was aware that in an Elizabethan time, outspoken women weren't necessarily as taken seriously, based on my knowledge of Taming of the Shrew and Katrina not being able to marry, seen as though she is outlandishly spoken. And therefore, playing the Elizabethan one, which is the first one, I needed to show the difference between Gangmead, who's masculine, and Rosalid, who is feminine, and show that there are two characters living within that monologue. Whereas in the second performance, which was more contemporary, gender doesn't define who speaks out, who can be assertive, so I didn't feel the need to distinct between two different genders. And therefore the character came across more grounded and more as one unit rather than two. The feelings, how I felt portraying both of them, I felt the first one, the Elizabethan, I could be more comedic because I had that distinction between masculine and feminine, and I could constantly refine myself by lowering my voice, changing my posture, making that, being more aggressive, being more mean, which would make it a little bit more traditional male characteristics. Whereas in the second one, I didn't do that, which then left a gap for comedy, which I felt I could fill by being a little bit more sarcastic. I also felt I was more feminine in the second one, because I didn't need to present myself as traditionally masculine, and therefore I could be a little bit more sensitive to just create that contrast between the two. I felt that both fitted with the text, however, the second, more contemporary, I felt it was more like me, I was more asserted in the character, I was more grounded in the character, I felt more confident portraying Rosalid that's how I interpret her, as a strong woman, which is why she gets banished in the first place. I also felt more attractive, which I felt was important, because that is what Phoebe grabs hold of and then falls in love with Gangmead or Rosalid. I feel that As You Like It is about love, fundamentally, and all types of love, homosexual, heterosexual, everything in between, and therefore it was important to show that gender doesn't matter in who falls in love with who. It's about the character, it's about who you find attractive, and therefore I felt better portraying the second one because I did feel more attractive. I didn't feel like I was battling between the masculine and the feminine. Video end.